Fortnite Season 3, believe it or not, is not that far away, with Chapter 4 Season 2 nearly being halfway through and changes now appearing around the Mega City newly introduced area at the beginning of this season, building up a live event. We're not only covering that, but tons of new features, vehicles confirmed, battle pass skins, and so much more that you won't want to miss. Just before we begin, if you could drop a like and subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on and enter code FM1 inside the Fortnite item shop now or the next time you log on, it would not only make me happy but my dog Charlie the Charcoal Pug. Diving straight into it, but rewinding the clock to Chapter 1 actually, as the theory has it that this chapter, Chapter 4, is actually Chapter 1 in reverse. What I mean by that before we hop onto the map changes introduced in 24.20 and how this correlates to that theory is because in Chapter 1, obviously Season 9 being the second to last season of that chapter, this was futuristic or Neo themed, as we had Neo tilted, and now for the first season or just second season overall of Chapter 4, we have another Neo themed city or season being, well, the Mega City that was introduced with all the other surrounding areas thanks to the Peace Syndicate redirecting the Rift Gate. Despite this only being one season that correlates to this theory so far, the next one we're expecting behind Season 9 of Chapter 1 then, to actually confirm this furthermore, is a season introducing a volcano as it did in Chapter 1 Season 8. Many people are already speculating this structure on the outskirts of the city itself is an inactive volcano, proving it could be possible thanks to the hot air sprouting out of the geysers that can actually put us up in the air and make us equip our glider. Furthermore, to add to this theory in 24.20, the map changes that complement it are these earthquake cracks seemingly what have been made round the Mega City itself. Of course, a volcano won't be involved in this season's live event to end it off, however may be the result of it, but a character that may contribute toward it right in front of our eyes from this shrunken tree is the Herald returning, as we have evidence for. Before we dive into all of that though, I want to thank the Song of Prairie for kindly sponsoring today's video. I think we can all agree Fortnite got better as it got more colourful, which is why you'd love this game that's linked in the video description down below now to download in early access, as it's very vibrant and generally something you don't have to battle sweats on, being a 3D relaxing farm game. The best part about this game in my opinion is it's non-linear, meaning once you've started something you don't necessarily need to follow it through right until the end of finishing that exact kind of segment, so feel free to experience the fun of exploration, harvesting giant fruits and crops, and even taking care of fantastic animals and dating someone you like within the game. From starting a new game right now when it's in early access, there's only 2 of the 3 characters available, which come with their own different perks and proficiencies, which then allow you to customize it to your own personal taste. Once you've saved all the changes you'd like to make to the character from starting the game, the tutorial is obviously very easy to follow and eases you nicely into everything, with some humour of this farmer being asleep initially when you try and visit him. After literally no time at all, so it seems, from obviously completing the tutorial and even seeing different locations on your minimap that you'll be able to navigate now, from going over to the memo you can decide where you go to next, whether it's completing side quests firstly to get rewards as you can see marked right here, or actually going through the main storyline. Once again, with the game being not only non-linear but very colourful and relaxing, you don't need to stress about not knowing exactly absolutely everything, as there's interactive cutscenes which ease you nicely into knowing about the characters, and also many hints progressing as to what you need to do next with whatever route you've decided to go down, whether it is the main story quests or from simply looking at the side ones you can see on your memo. In my opinion, the more you dive into this and the more consumed you get in this virtual world that you're literally building by yourself from scratch, the more you want to play, because literally the world is at your fingertips once you're going along and not only enjoying yourself but learning and progressing throughout all of the game's features. Before you leave today's video, make sure you click the link at the top of the video description down below and download Song of the Prairie today to start your individual vibrant adventure. As for how the Herald may return despite us thinking she sacrificed herself in the Fracture Live event shown now on the island attached into this tree, believe it or not, this particular area has given it away somewhat, as it's actually changed in 24.20, initially looking like this that you see in the cinematic for, but now obviously looks like this. If that change wasn't too noticeable, then from taking a look at the minimap preview, it's very much easier to identify right here. And with that said, for what reason could this be changing? Has the Herald survived inside this tree so far, as we know the Last Reality are going to be returning due to them having a saboteur deleting the files within the Peace Syndicate about the Last Reality from the Peace Syndicate's database? As Triarch Nox is still not on the NPC collection tab, many people believe him, considering his resemblances to the Last Reality and the likes of the mother of mother ships being the Cradle ship, that he could very well be this saboteur or have a small secret team of saboteurs which are his triarchy, which not only got revealed of the Mega City posters being the May and June crew pack skins, but I believe at least one was found in the files actually fully revealed as a physical skin model that Epic Games put into there but obviously isn't available as of now. The more interesting thing from taking a look at the full version of the male character out of these two off the Fortnite surveys instead of just the torso region on the posters is that he has a 0 point, or what resembles 0 point energy within his his chest. Whilst this may mean nothing and simply contribute toward the aesthetic of the cosmetic or skin himself, it would make sense for it to mean nothing considering the 0 point isn't usually involved in live events or anywhere within the island until the end of a particular chapter, but as you can see in 24.20, Fortori found out the following. This location called Roundtable in the files has been on the chapter 4 map since the beginning. We all speculate that this is the location of the 0 point. Today, some files related to this location got updated, might be an indication we will see something happen soon. When you actually go to here in game as well, there's some strange eerie sound effects, almost like the ones emitted from the 0 point when going near it previously when we could. And speaking of weird things happening in terms of map changes or updates, of course more of these bone-like made structures, according to the files anyways, have sprouted around the island. No, this is not the job of Titans crushing humans and making structures, as they simply haven't added them, which was very disappointing. Despite them literally having 3 emotes literally involving them in the names or descriptions of them. On top of that, another disappointment before Season 3 launches is we're not going to be getting an Eren Jaeger page 2, if it wasn't already obvious due to the fact, well, there's literally only one page right here and we can't go over and see question marks for another. Despite these being very strange in themselves, what's even stranger is the fact that the 3 factions that have come to the universe of Fortnite in Chapter 4 Season 2 opposing each other are now all getting along. These being the Peace Syndicate, the River Guard, and also Fox Clan, which according to Fortnite Wiki have now apparently settled their differences over a dinner. Maybe they've come together for the better good of the island and are preparing for what's about to happen anyways, with this saboteur giving information back to the last reality about them, which could result in a live event of similar scale to the final showdown like we saw again in Chapter 1 Season 9. It wouldn't surprise me due to the Cyber Dragon above Mega City being indestructible, and it literally has the same effects surrounding it, making us kind of fly up in the sky then pull out our glider as when the Mecha Team Leader robot was being constructed in Chapter 1 Season 9. Hopefully in the meantime though we see more developments and teases or updates pointing toward what's going to be happening in the 3 final downtime updates of 5 set to occur, still being 24.30, 24.40 and 24.50. Reverting back to that date on the Battle Pass June 2nd, of course that means a live event will happen, we'll go into a downtime, and then early June 3rd, due to downtime taking longer from season transitions, obviously having servers go live early that day. Speaking of June 2nd, it may not just be a coincidence, but Across the Spider-Verse being a Miles Morales based movie, including even Spider-Gwen, is also releasing that day, as data miners discovered that Spider-Gwen would be upcoming in the Chapter 3 Season 4 Battle Pass before she released. They were wrong about Miles Morales coming to the game in the item shop later that season. As we've seen collaboration skins only so far, for the unlockable skin halfway through each season in Chapter 4 being Geralt of Rivia, now Eren Jaeger, it wouldn't surprise me if Miles Morales was not only one of those 8 Battle Pass outfits next season, but specifically the unlockable one around 40% through. As for some other skins that could be in the Battle Pass, any of these literally that were worked on off the Fortnite surveys prior to 24.20, but then with 24.20 going live, data miners discovered that all of these are being worked on too. Epic Games, for those that don't know, did release the Welcome to Fortnite mega trailer the day prior to the release of Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 2, and the reason I mention this is because we got our first look at this helipad right here, which made many players, including myself, believe, of course, that we'd be seeing choppers as an aerial transportation method now unvaulted or come to this island. As of now, this isn't the case, but I'm kinda glad about it, as it could mean they're still working on the rideable flying animals that got leaked literally in Chapter 3 Season 3. In that same season, for those that don't know, again, motorcycles got leaked, and we finally saw them introduced at the start of Chapter 4, so it doesn't mean anything from this season has been scrapped. Chapter 3 Season 3, for those that don't know, was a summer-themed season, and we've recently just got even more leaks to back up that's what we're going to be seeing for Chapter 4 Season 3 due to this new driftboard-like vehicle or surfboard currently being worked on. I'm just saying, considering there's literally baby Clombos in Fortnite now due to Creative 2.0 or UEFN releasing and players making them, it's only a matter of time before somebody puts wings on the normal size versions or even the baby versions and makes flying Clombos, perhaps that we can even ride, which isn't even nearly as big as the surprise of not seeing wall running and also first person introduced at the start of this season that data miners previously confirmed prior to the release of it. First person was accessible for a very limited time in Chapter 4 Season 1 due to going over to save the world, a glitch happening when you enable the first person camera, then transferring over to Battle Royale. Of course, this only worked on certain weapons and did look very realistic on some of them, if not finished. More things in the files, however, have been updated, pointing toward it's being actively worked on and will be introduced for everybody at the start of next season, as Hypex stated weapon attachments have been updated after over 2 years. This was to add support for attachments that modify weapons recoil. Vehicle attachments have also been updated to detect if a passenger is operating a turret, so he believes this could be Fortnite's next big update after first person, but they could come together as weapon attachments, of course, could include weapon charms that have also been in the files for over 2 years. And of course there'll actually be a valuable cosmetic then to personalise our weapons with, due to us being able to see them better in first person. Drop a like if you're excited either way, and subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you don't miss any future uploads. But speaking of other videos, click this one I picked out for you on screen right now whilst you wait for the very next one I do publish on the channel.